why would you guys do this? Gothic 3 is a sequel to Gothic 2, developed by Piranha Bytes and published by Asper Media in 2006 in North America. This is a fantasy, action, role-playing game, and medieval torture simulator, and I'm not joking this time. This video game broke me. My balls were crushed, thrown into a blender, and I was forced to drink the aftermath. Gothic 3 is regarded as the worst in the series, and it doesn't seem that way at first. The graphics look decent for the time, and the combat has been changed to feel more modern, but that's only a facade. What lies below is a repetitive, boring, and bug-filled mess that no one deserves to experience. I couldn't beat this game, man. I had headaches just from playing it. This is my first failed review, and it's fitting for it to be a Gothic game. Let's go in and out quick. The graphics, like I said before, are decent. The game was released around the Xbox 360, PS3 era, and it certainly does look like it. My only complaint is the draw distance. Ew! Look at this. It's like everything's reverse puking itself. The details are growing out like pubes on a smooth ball sack. It's really distracting. And what's with the walk cycle? It doesn't look like it's looping properly. It just snaps back into the first frame when it ends. Not smooth at all. It may not look like a huge complaint, but that walk cycle is the thing you'll be looking at for the entirety of this long game, so it's the one thing that needed to look good. Aside from these issues, there's not much to say. The graphics are probably the best aspect of this game. They went from upscale PS1 graphics to upscale PS2 graphics, so that's an improvement. The performance is all over the place. The frame rate's not consistent, freezes and stutters like fuck, and the game crashes at the most inconvenient moments. Go to the menu, it crashes. About to fight some fools, it crashes. Oh, did you just kill a very hard enemy? Here, have a free crash. The game just falls apart the further you get. It's annoying. This is what the community patch installed too. If the community can't fix it, then it's fucked. The gameplay. Holy fuck, the gameplay. Let's start with the combat. Just look at this. The enemies just keep backing away. Why? You can try to get closer, but they'll just quick attack your ass and you have no choice but to take it. You either have to back enemies into a wall or get lucky and stun lock them, both of which aren't fun at all. The humanoid enemies are even worse. I don't know why this happens, but later in the game, I leveled up my sword skills, and it keeps knocking down enemies, and when they get up, they do an attack along with it, so you have to fuck off out of there before they do. You can do this alternate attack that gives you a bit more range, and it won't knock down enemies, but it does less damage, and it's worse for crowd control. If you're fighting multiple enemies at once, you have to be extra careful as to not knock all of them down or you're getting juggled. But then sometimes when you fight bigger, more powerful enemies, you'll make it out alright. Look at these dragons. Their fire attack can one-shot you, but if you get close enough and keep attacking, you can stun lock it. It's so unbalanced. You can kill a dragon 1 minute and get your ass blasted by zombies the next. That doesn't make sense. When several guys can't even kill a zombie, there's something terribly wrong. So is there any good to the combat at all? There are a lot of skills that you can pick to make different builds, so that's neat, I guess. I can't think of anything else. The map has been expanded so the game feels more like a modern open world title, but it took away what made the previous Gothic games so special. Gothic 1 and 2 may not be as big as 3, but that made every location memorable and easier to explore and travel to. I finished Gothic 2 without a map for most of the game, and I felt like I was fully immersed in the world, like I actually lived there and knew my way around. There's none of that in Gothic 3. The world itself is bigger, so naturally there's a lot more walking. Teleportation stones still exist, but it's weird how you get them. Sometimes it's just sitting on a rock in front of the town, sometimes someone just gives it to you, sometimes it just shows up in your inventory, and other times I can't find one anywhere. As a result, every time I have to go to someplace far but can't find the teleportation stone and have to go someplace else for a quest, I become hesitant. I don't want to walk for like 10 minutes back to that place again. I climb an entire mountain to get there. You can use a guide to find all the stones, but you shouldn't have to do that. Just have one teleportation stone that contains all the locations as you discover them. To progress through the story, you have to build up your reputation with various factions and towns. One thing that's different Gothic 3 does is the faction system. You don't have to join a faction and you can do missions for any of them. Also, missions don't need to be accepted from an NPC before doing it. So if you go into a cave somewhere and wipe out a pack of wolves, a quest completed notification can pop up and you're done with the quest. It makes the world feel more organic and natural in the way you explore it. You still have to find the right NPC after to turn in the quest for rewards and EXP, but still cool nonetheless. Gothic 3 is very freedom heavy, and I love that aspect of it. My problem is with the quest design and how the story progresses. It's very repetitive and the story was not enough to keep me going. Every quest feels like an MMO quest. You either go kill things, collect shit, or both, and the context behind those quests are boring. Hey yo, get some milk and wheat for me, man. Dude, wanna go kill some shit? Hey man, there's some shit going on in the south, can you go check it out? Oh, okay, I guess I'll go. What's going on here? Yeah, some people kill the guys here and they need you to kill those people who kill the guys. This wouldn't bother me so much if this was a shorter game, but it's supposedly 40 plus hours long. It's not like these are side quests either. You have to raise your reputation in towns in order to talk to the town's leader who gives you directions or hints on where to go next. To get better armor, you have to raise your reputation in a faction to a certain level in order to get the good ones. So essentially, what we have here is a game where you go to a town to raise your reputation, only for you to go to another town to raise your reputation. That leads you to another town where you raise your reputation, where you do repetitive quests with no major story checkpoints, and it progresses at the pace of a running snail. My balls blue. So how's the story? Well, after Gothic 2, you and the crew sail to Murtana. The orcs won against the humans in the war, and you hear rumors about Sardas working with the orcs, so you decide to find them and get some answers. You go from town to town doing shit for people until one of the orcs points you to Nordmere, the snowy area in the north. So you meet Sardas, but turns out he's not really the bad guy and is trying to find another solution for the orcs versus humans war. He then has you go around the desert looking for artifacts, and that's when I fucked off. On top of all the reputation grinding, now I have to do a collectathon too? You shitting me? All the artifact locations on the map aren't accurate either because it's an old map and the locals already dug them up. So you know what that means? More reputation grinding and doing the same shit over and over again. I was 20 hours in at this point, and assuming that the next 20 is gonna be the same shit, I quit. This game made me quit for the first time on this channel. Gothic 3 broke me. This game has some things going for it. Piranha Bytes trying to make the game more accessible for new players, expanded the world, and made it feel more organic. But everything else feels like poopy butt cheeks. The graphics are average, performance is unstable, the combat is too janky and unbalanced, the gameplay loop is boring, the AI is shit, and the story is not engaging enough. I heard that this game was rushed out the door before it was ready, and I can certainly feel it. This could have been a step forward, but it ultimately didn't end up that way. I'd rather play Mars War Logs. I'd rather play GTA San Andreas where every mission is that mission where Big Smoke chases the train. I'd rather go back and finish Sword Art Online Re-Hollow Fragment. I'm tired, got a headache going on. I don't want to talk about this game anymore. See you next time for Arcania.